It's Dave from Dealing with Meniere's with Dave, and wanted to make a little video, about what we go through. And I'm sure most of you know what we go through, but I'm sure you could play this for your partners, your family, your friends, and they might understand a little bit more what they go through. What we go through, what we go through. And as usual, I post this in a few different Facebook sites, support groups. So, I'm sure it would be good for people there to see, and for other, maybe they could show their family, their spouses, partners, friends, whatever. So let's get started. So I was on prednisone since June 10th, and I'll tell you something, I felt great the whole time. Tinnitus was at a bare level, no vertigo. I was feeling really good. I was starting to feel good. I was actually dropping weight because I drink a lot of water, stuff like that. The only downfall is that I have diabetes, and it did spike my sugar. Not to dangerous levels, but high enough to be concerned. But I got off of it, and even off of it for about 10 days, I felt great. Until Friday, this past Friday, I started getting vertigo again, and we had some bad weather coming in, so I was like, okay, it's the weather. Well, Saturday came, and almost the same thing. As a matter of fact, I fell in the house, but I still managed to record mass from my church. My wife drove me to church, which really isn't that far away, but we had bad weather, so she drove me to church. I got all that done, I did all the editing, and I felt better as the night went on. And then Sunday came, and I felt great. So I went out in the morning, and I went out and I ran some errands. I had to drop something off for somebody. Then I went to the store, and we had my son and his family over. My daughter came over. My in-laws came over. And then when I got home, so I ran around all morning. Then I came home, I cooked on the grill. Still felt great. And then after dinner, after we ate, burgers and hot dogs, and I had a burger, I started not feeling good. I started, and I fell backwards into the kitchen. So I'm like, well, okay. And then about a few minutes later, everything started spinning. So my wife, who is extremely helpful with me, and I'm a very lucky person because I do have family that understands, and I got my wife who understands, my kids understand, my in-laws understand, my brother understands. All these people understand what I go through. So I'm kind of lucky in that aspect. My sister-in-laws and brother-in-laws, they all understand too. So I'm a very lucky person. I'm very blessed in that manner. But just doing all that stuff, driving, going to the store, running errands, bringing something over, cooking, having people over, that took all my energy, literally, to the point where I ended up getting vertigo. Now, the weather was pretty good on Sunday, but, the barometric pressure wasn't too bad or anything. But I paid for it. The next 2 days, I paid for it. Monday was all day vertigo. Tuesday was really not feeling all that well. I wasn't getting vertigo, but I was at that dizzy stage, you're off balance, something like that. And, I rested and slept most of the day. Today I felt pretty good. I got a little tired this afternoon, and I took a nap because what do you do when you're tired? You take a nap. Especially when we have Meniere's, because sometimes people don't understand that, our brains don't work like other people's brains. Because our brains are trying to constantly adjust and this and that. And in my case, and probably many of you, this ear is dead from a labyrinectomy. And I had 11 months, 2019, May of 2019 to April of 2020, with no vertigo, nothing, just tinnitus in this ear, and I'm deaf. And then April 2020, it started again. And it was this ear. It's this ear now that's starting to go. It's my right ear. But you know, for us to do all this work and to get things done and to try to have some semblance of life, things get caught up, and we have to pay for it by resting, and we feel sick for a day or so afterwards, and stuff like that. And sometimes people don't get that. They think because you look good, you're out doing an errand, or you're out doing that, you're fine. Well, no. I'm going to end up paying you got to pay the piper if you want to dance. Now, us as Meniere's patients, seriously, we can't sit in the house all day long. Okay? You know, looking at four walls, that's it. And, well, I have my dog who's, I don't know what the heck he's doing. He's sleeping. I have my dog that keeps me busy. And I've got other habits, other hobbies that keep me busy with the computers and filming and things like that. But we have to do things. We have to try at some point to live normal lives. And some people, you know, people need to understand that we're trying. We're really sick. We don't look it, but we're really sick. Not all disabilities are visible, believe it or not. You know, I've had people say to me, well, you don't look deaf. Well, what does a deaf person look like? You know, what I really want to say is, well, you don't look stupid, but you are. But I don't say that because it's going to start a problem. Please don't use that line. But, you know, I always turn around and say, but what does a deaf person look like? You know, you tell me this, explain this to me. And I say it in a nice tone, and I say it in a nice way. So people don't get mad, and they don't start a fight and this and that and the other thing, you know. So, well, you know, deaf people usually sign. Well, you know, I'm learning it. You know, like, oh, okay. So then they kind of get it a little bit. But yeah, us being Meniere's patients, you know, we like to try to live as normal as we possibly can. You know, we can't do everything. Now, what I did Sunday with driving, I would not normally do. But I felt good enough to do it. So I did it. Did I pay for it? Yeah, I did. But I did it. And I was proud of myself because it was an accomplishment. And that's another thing. The little things that we do, okay, those are major accomplishments for us. For other people, they're a big deal. You drove down the street. Yeah, well, for you to drive down the street's nothing. For me, to drive down the street is a big accomplishment. Some days for me to get in the shower is a big accomplishment. You know, we take the little things and go, hey, I did this. Where other people would go, yeah, well, I do that every day. What are you talking about? So, you know, that's the other thing is they don't get it. And that's because we don't look sick. You know, we're supposed to walk around with a walker and a cane all day long when we don't need to, just to understand it. We are disabled. So, you know, I wanted to make this video kind of quick, you know, to prove that, you know what, sometimes we can do things, and sometimes we can do normal things. But people need to understand that just because you do one or two things doesn't mean that we're cured and, you know, we can go back to work and we can do this and we can do that. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way at all, especially with, you know, balance problems. We could fall. Okay? You know, as my old company told me, and I was there almost 30 years, told me, you know, I was a liability because when I could fall to, you know, I could have a vertigo attack while I'm driving, you know, all these things. So that's why they put me on a short-term disability, a long-term disability, see if we can get this corrected within a year, and I couldn't. So, or corrected in some way where I could come back to work, not, you know, necessarily, you know, not going to be cured, none of us. There is no magic cure. So, you know, it was something that they were trying to help me with. So, and they were good to me during that time, and I can't complain about Rico. They were very, very good to me. But the thing is that, you know, we can fall and we can hurt ourselves. Now, there was not last year, before COVID, 2019 in November, I decided I was going to go out with some friends of mine one night to go see a band play. And my wife didn't want to go. And I kind of got a little upset. And I went, well, I'm going. And I got in the car and off I went. I showed up, and one of my friends there, whose name is Wendy, was very, very good to me. She never heard of Meniere's disease before I told her I had it, but this is how good of a friend she is. Now, all my friends kind of understand, and they really watch out for me, and they still invite me to parties and invite me to go out and do stuff like that. But my friend Wendy went the step beyond. She researched it, not just the Google thing that you see. She researched it. She watched some videos that I had posted public, and she watched out for me that whole night because she knew my wife wasn't there. And, you know, she figured, well, I'm going to watch out for him because I need him to go back home to Diane, and and that's what she did. She made sure I was okay. She made sure, if I had to go up the stairs, which you had to walk upstairs to go to the bathroom, she'd walk me up the stairs, she'd walk me down the stairs. No, she did not help me in the bathroom, but she walked me up the stairs, down the stairs. If I wanted to get a Coke at the bar, she walked me up the stairs and down the stairs, or she went and got it. Walked me to the car, make sure I got in the car okay, all this stuff. She just really kind of took over, like, okay, you know what, I'm your wife for the night, except you're going home to your real wife. And it was great, because she really took the time and to understand what I was going through, what I go through. And she still does. She still messages me. She'll send me texts every couple of weeks. How you feeling? How you doing? You need anything? This is, that's fantastic. And a lot of my family members do it too, which I'm like I said, I'm very blessed in that aspect. But we have to do things. We can't always be afraid something's going to happen. If you don't feel good, don't do it. If you feel good, give it a shot. See how you do. We can't just sit around all day. And sometimes people need to understand that do not have chronic illness, do not have our disease, that we cannot sit around all day long looking at four walls or looking at the idiot box. Well, I do look at the computer a lot during the day, but that's because I'm learning more about computers. I'm learning more about video editing. I'm learning more about photo editing. Looking to upgrade my video box here, my editing machine, and looking to get another laptop because I gave my daughter my laptop. And so that's what I'm doing. So look, if you feel good, go do it. Don't let things stop you. Don't let people stop you. And that's another thing. Don't listen to comments. Don't listen to comments. I'm not talking about the support groups. I'm talking about from other people that don't understand. They don't understand what you're going through. So why would they even make a comment? Don't say anything. Don't listen to it. A lot of people in the beginning told me I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that, blah, 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 blah. And all right, they were right with some of the stuff, but some stuff I could do. I can still go out and take pictures. I can still walk. I can still, I can go fishing. As long as I'm not climbing up and down cliffs like I used to. Which I don't anymore. If I go fishing, it's on a beach type of thing or a dock type of thing. It's a solid footing, so I'm not going into the water or falling in. I'm not climbing up a cliff anymore. I've stopped going to Wachusett Reservoir because of that, because you got to climb up a cliff or climb down a cliff or climb downhill or uphill, and it's crazy, and it's a very deep thing. So I stopped going to Wachusett. So now I just stick around here, and I know where to go, where it's safe for me to go, where I don't have to worry about balancing and falling in the water. Okay? But I learned that the hard way, because last year stupid me, tried to go down where I normally go, and I usually catch, 4 or 5 pound bass. I mean, they're, you hear the fishing stories, they're big. And I tried to climb down it, and I lost my balance, and thank God there was a poison ivy bush growing out this way. Growing out sideways out of the rock, because that's where I landed, and shimmied my way back, and yeah, it was safe, but I was covered with poison ivy. My whole body was covered with poison ivy. But that's okay. I didn't fall in the water. But, you know, so I don't do that anymore because I learned. But, so now when I go fishing, I go to a safe spot. Or if I'm not going to a safe spot, I make sure there's somebody with me. You know, usually my friend Dave will take me, say, hey, you want to go fishing? We'll go walk a little bit down here and, you know, don't worry about it. I'll help you, blah, 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 blah. Sure, no problem. You know, because I know I got somebody there with me to help me who's going to take care of me. And that's my friend Dave, great guy. I always fished my whole life. This guy's taught me more about fishing in 10 years than I did the whole 54 years I've been on this planet. So, you know, that is one of the things. I don't go out fishing as often as I'd like, but, you know, when I do, I make sure I'm in a safe area. So, on that note, I'm going to end the video. And just remember, you know, you can do anything you want to do if you put your mind to it. Don't listen to people who say you can't do something. Like I said before, don't do something risky. Don't do something, you know, stupid. If you don't feel that great, don't get in your car and drive. Don't do it. But if you feel good, drive. You know, if you feel like walking, walk. Now, I don't walk as much as I used to because I can't hear the cars coming behind me, and there's really no sidewalks where I live. So I will literally get in the car, go to the church parking lot, which is literally a quarter mile from my house, and I'll do a circuit in there, walking circuit where I can get 1 or 2 miles in. And yeah, the priest thinks I'm nuts, but hey, he still has me record videos, record mass for him every Sunday, so he can't think I'm that crazy. But yeah, do things safely, but get out and do something. Because if you don't, what kind of life are you living? So on that note, until the next time, I will talk to you all later. Have a sprint-free rest of the week. If I don't do another video, which I might do another one. But have a sprint-free week and take care. And I'll see you next time on Dealing with Menieres with Dave. If you like this, please subscribe and hit the bell for the notifications when I do make a video and I post it, you will know. And then you can go and watch it. So on that note, good night, everybody.